probably first started looking into this about 3 to 5 years ago. We had a lease that was coming close to an end, and the question, of course, was do we stay in place and renovate, or do we look for new space? We went to the marketplace, started to look at what was available while we were out there. And it was actually during that process that we became aware of a lot of the different environmentally friendly options that were out there. So that's what got us thinking about an environmentally friendly environment and the idea of incorporating that into our design.
I wanted to make sure we had an environment where people would be comfortable, that was fresh, that was new, that would allow for collaboration, and it would allow for people to work in different modes and different methods as they do today.
Every decision that we made about the work environment and how people will work flowed from wanting to go for LEED. So even when we went out with our RFPs for furniture or for work tables, there was always, how can you help us with our LEED initiative?
It's simply the notion of taking everything into account when you're developing your premises with an environmental and energy efficiency perspective in mind.
Talk to other people that have done this before you, and that's where we learn the most. The TD Centre through Cadillac Fairview, they were great at showing us many practical examples of what people had done. When we started to deal directly with the tradespeople, it was amazing how many of them were able to tell us very practical answers and very practical, simple solutions.
Some of the key features. So when you look at the HVAC system, not many people see much of it. But there's quite the technology involved with respect to ensuring that we have more flexible temperature ranges. We were very considerate with respect to the material we used and the off-gassing, whether it be in paint or wood or carpets, even furniture finishings.
Our printers are being set at double-sided printing, so they don't automatically print. We're scanning a lot more so that we don't have that paper content. We have composting and recycling and garbage in every one of our boardrooms so that people are thinking about what they're disposing of, and we do environmental training for all of our employees.
We have gone to motion-activated lighting systems everywhere, and we've sized the zones correctly based on how you can maximize the benefits of saving energy and controlling the lighting.
Our old premises were designed 30 years ago, and offices and people working in offices work different than they do today. I think people are much more collaborative. I think our technology has changed significantly over the last few decades, and all of those factors are important considerations when you design your space.
Probably one of the best examples of that was the whole issue of making it easy for people to bicycle to work. If you bike to work in the middle of the summer and you're sweating when you arrive here, how do you make yourself ready for a regular business day? So the idea of, for example, building showers into our premises.
It's a much more difficult process if, as a tenant, you're trying to do something from a green perspective without the assistance of the landlord, and Cadillac Fairview definitely was on the same page as we were.
Sitting on the TD Green Council, we have quarterly meetings, and I can bring back to our firm all of the initiatives that they're doing. Through our lease, we monitor our energy, and we can set targets that we want to meet, and they help us with the monitoring that to make sure it works.
We've proven that it does work, that not only the people benefits, but the financial benefits are there in the long term, that you can make these changes and not have it disrupt your business.
We've put it out there as what we're doing. We've had clients who have said, wow, what could we do in our building? And when we've done tours with clients of this building, the first thing we teach people is that this was our philosophy going into it and how we achieve LEED.
Here's how much you can accomplish if you don't add this at the end of the project, but you made the decision on day one that this is what we want to accomplish with our build. I think that there's been a real groundswell of enthusiasm in working in a morally appropriate environment and working in an environment that reflects the values of your workplace.